Would you like to know the top 10 Moldavite crystal benefits? Do you have a feeling that this is the most powerful crystal in the world? And let me tell you something, you're not wrong. So stay tuned, because in this video, I'm going over those 10 benefits, and I guarantee at least half of them you have not heard before. So stick around. Number one is heightened energy and focus. The energy that you get from Moldavite, it feels like this electrical stimulation inside and outside of your skin. It feels like the world is alive. And of course, the world is alive, but the kind of energy that Moldavite gives you is this kind of lively feeling, like there's something that's happening, like always, like there's never nothing going on. It's like you can't be bored. And so you have this energy and stimulation inside of you, this playfulness to be one with it all. So that's where the energy comes from and the stimulation. But the focus is really unique, because the focus stems from this kind of feeling of being in the moment. I know you know what I'm talking about. There are moments in all of our lives where something is happening and you realize you're not thinking about the past or the future. You're completely there. It could be with a romantic partner, somebody you love. You're on a roller coaster. There's all different kinds of experiences. Moldavite gives you this feeling of attention to what is happening now and whatever you want to focus on, more than anything else that I've ever used before, even outside of crystals. This is awesome, guys. That's number one for you. That, of course, brings us to number two. And number two is that of this new kind of creativity. Your creativity is going to become much more advanced in the way it comes out of you. So imagine the kind of way that you're creative right now without Moldavite, for instance. You have an idea, you sit there and you work on it, and then you create it, right? The way that Moldavite creativity works is it feels like you have access to this new kind of dimensional thinking. Once you tune into the vibration of Moldavite, your ideas aren't created by you anymore. It's like your ideas happen already before you even have to create them. It's like it doesn't take effort, it doesn't take work. It's like there's all of these ideas and creative things floating around you constantly, and all you have to do is just boop, 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 pick one, and then it's real. And it's like you kind of overstep the place where you have to sit there and really think about it. Things just flow. Moldavite definitely increases creativity. I call it a new kind of dimensional thinking. So there you have it. Number three is that your manifestation power will be just blown through the roof. Your manifestations are going to be incredible. I already have an entire video on this, which I'm going to go ahead and I'll tag above. But for now, all you need to know is that anything that you want to manifest, it stems from this similar kind of dimensional thinking of what I was just talking about with the creativity. Having access to these ideas without having to create them, it's very similar with manifesting. It's more in depth than that, but for layman's terms, it's just you have access to these manifestations without feeling this need to create them. It's like this understanding that they're already there. It's this present moment kind of feeling, just like I talked about with being playful and in the moment with your focused attention. It's all coming together. It's the same kind of energy that Moldavite has, but reaches into different categories of your life. And the manifestation one is just ridiculous, guys. You got to trust me on this. If you're trying to manifest anything, Moldavite is, in my opinion, next to citrine, the best for manifesting. So this one takes us to number four, and that is that Moldavite will 100% unlock new psychic abilities within you, whether you think you have any or not. When I first got Moldavite, I didn't really realize that I had psychic abilities like I believe everybody does. I didn't feel that in myself. As soon as I had Moldavite, I began to realize that it had been there all along. I have a video on this too, I'll go ahead and tag above. The thing is though, is the longer I've been working with Moldavite, new things just start happening. I'm experiencing psychic type abilities that I never would have guessed I had and hadn't been working on. There is all kinds of different aspects to this, guys. Empath powers, mind reading, if you want to call it that. I guess you could say telepathy too, if you want to target it in that way. There is so many different crazy things that have been happening, and I 100% know it's from Moldavite. Again, I actually have a few videos on this I'll go ahead and tag, but just know that psychic abilities, if that's something that you want to work on, you're just ridiculous to not utilize Moldavite, because I wasn't even trying to work on psychic abilities, and now I've got them. So there you go. So here we are arriving at number 5. Number 5 is Moldavite will unlock and open your heart chakra. The first chakra that it is going to target, the one that it's feeling the most powerfully connected to, is the heart. Now, I'm not going to explain how chakras work or the way that you open them or how it all pans together. That's something that you either know or will look into on your own. What I will explain to you is the way that it feels is like this, just love, just this euphoric power that is coming from right here, and it just waves, boom, boom, boom. It like ripples out in effect, and I can feel it starting at the base of my spine, like this electricity flowing up into my heart and just exploding out, and it feels like healing the world, healing me. Moldavite is just incredible for that. So if you're interested in chakras, opening chakras, the heart chakra, Moldavite is for you. This brings us to number 6. And number 6 is, I'm not going to say my favorite, but it's the one that personally affects me the most. And as I'm even about to say it, it's happening. Moldavite makes you laugh all the time for no reason. It's just this feeling of, I've never laughed like this in my entire life. I've heard a really good joke. I've had something funny happen and be laughing or get like a laugh attack. This laughter is different. It's like it's coming from the heart, like I was just talking about in the heart chakra opening. And again, all these things are connected to the same thing that Moldavite is doing with your energy. But this one is just really hilarious because it's not like funny things are happening that you just start laughing at. You're just laughing from this really jovial place inside of you of raw happiness and joy. There's no better feeling than it. I've never felt any better feeling than this laughter. If there are things that you have a hard time letting go of because you feel like you need them to be happy, you could probably think of some examples. Moldavite, the laughter that it gives you is the best feeling that I've ever felt in my entire life. There's nothing else to it. It is a feeling of raw love and passion and joy and just living in the moment, and I love it. So if you want to laugh more and just be happy for no reason at all other than just the sake of your happiness, Moldavite is definitely something awesome. So now I'm coming at you with number 7, guys. Number 7 is a really big staple effect of Moldavite, and it's part of why it's called the tectonic transformation. Moldavite is going to increase your inner intuition. There's no question about it. Whether you feel anything on this list or not, that is the one that Moldavite is going to be targeting the most to help you to transform. I have a lot of different videos on this. You could check those out. But for this one, the main thing that I want to say for just a quick nutshell is that there is a voice inside of us. There is this being that we are, and we all can feel it. I feel like a lot of us can relate to feeling like something's missing in life, feeling like something's off, or like you're not quite yourself. You might ask yourself, who am I? You know, questions like that. Moldavite is going to increase your inner intuition in a way where you can suddenly hear and feel this voice that is coming from the raw person and this being that you are, something that you can't even fathom until you feel it. It is full connection with your inner self. This can be uncomfortable at first because a lot of people realize that the life they have is not the one that their true self wants. So you got to be mindful of that. But in terms of transformative properties, this is where Moldavite really comes into play and hits you hard. So if you want access to your inner voice in a much deeper and connected way, Moldavite is, again, for you. Number 8 is that you're just going to feel like a kid again. And it's really difficult to explain, and at the same time, the easiest one to explain. Do you remember like believing in Santa, or, you know, like believing that like magic is real? I remember I would read all these wizardology books outside and I thought I was a wizard. That kind of feeling of magic being real, of these different worlds that we can exist in, that feeling of magic as a kid of just everything was just magic. I mean, it just was. There's this portion of our lives that will come back. And it makes me want to cry just thinking about it, because that magic is something really special that I feel like a lot of people, as they get older, you reflect on and you wish you could have it back. Everybody wishes they could go back. Moldavite, it gives you that magic again, but moves you forwards. You don't have to go back to experience that magic. Moldavite brings it into your life. Now, this is a difficult one to explain, so if you're interested in this, comment below if you have any questions about any of these really that I've said. If there are any of these that jump out to you that you're curious about, post a question. If you have any comments on what you think is one of the best effects of Moldavite, comment that below. There's a lot of awesome stuff that happens in the comment section, so let's get that going. But yeah, it's really quite beautiful, where you just feel like you're a little kid again, like there's just magic everywhere. And this happens in a kind of strange dimensional way, where you do kind of really believe that this magic is real. And I do believe that this magic is real. I believe that Moldavite has helped me see the magic of reality that I was not paying attention to. But lo and behold, if you want to feel like a little kid again with that magic, or like the laughter that I was talking about, Moldavite is just the best. So if you want to feel magic like a little kid again, get some Moldavite. I'm telling you, you can't go wrong there. I'm interrupting this broadcast with an important message for the viewer. If you like this video, if you like the vibe, don't forget to like and subscribe. Number 9 is that you will know your life purpose with Moldavite. I already kind of scratched on this a little bit, but if you ask yourself questions, who am I? What am I supposed to do? If you feel like you're meant for more, which I know every single one of us does, we all are destined to be more than what we are right now, and we always can be. You could just realize it now. Moldavite, it just kind of shreds all these layers away from you, where you can access this inner truth, again with the intuition. And it's this power that really leads you to know what you're meant to do. That can be career-wise, that can be relationship-wise. It stems into all of these different areas of your life. Moldavite's just so incredible. So that brings me to number 10 with Moldavite. And this one, it's kind of funny. And I think I've heard this in somebody else's video too along the way. Moldavite is going to make everybody want to be an entrepreneur. So it's going to let you know like your life purpose and what you want to do. Career-wise, I can't tell you what that's going to be, but there's something about Moldavite that just makes everybody want to be their own boss. Now, you might think like, well, yeah, everybody already wants to be their own boss. Even if that's the case, Moldavite brings that out in a really hilarious way, where you just be your own boss. You don't need to wait to have all these things built up for you to be your own boss. You just live like you are all of a sudden. You are your own boss. And so through that, a lot of people it makes you want to be an entrepreneur. You work your own hours. You live exactly the way you want to. You're the boss of yourself. That is Moldavite. Moldavite makes you the boss of your own life. It just wants you to start your own business for whatever reason. So that's something that I've noticed with pretty much everybody who works with Moldavite and gets to a certain kind of place in practice with it. You just want to be an entrepreneur. It just happens. So those were the top 10 Moldavite crystal benefits that I threw at you in nutshell form. There's a lot more to go into on these guys. I've got a ton of videos on it. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. This is Vibes and Frequencies signing off. Until next time. Next time is tomorrow at 10:45 a.m. Bye, guys.